everybody, it's PJ, and today I'm going to show you how to banish the past. And it takes a little preparation for it, so I wanted to show you ahead some of the things that you would be using in order to banish the past. You're going to need either a cauldron or an open flame. So you can go outside and do it in, you can do it in your grill if you want. But an open flame, and I choose this little cauldron that I got from the Sabbath box. And I hadn't had a cause to use it until now. And they actually give you the little bit of sand that protects the bottom of the cauldron, because I burnt out my last cauldron. I didn't realize sand was what you use. Isn't that silly? I just thought you got new ones. And this is just a piece of charcoal. You can use a regular piece of charcoal, like from your grilled charcoal. It's the same thing. And what we're going to do is make a banishing powder today. And I'm going to give you the ingredients of the banishing powder so you can have it and use it, but I'm also going to tell you how to banish the past. That's what we're kind of focused on today, is banishing the past with, and most of the stuff you can get out of your kitchen, truthfully. So first off, these are hydrangeas, and I grow these right in my garden. I have a big hydrangea bush, but not everybody does. So you need some of these ingredients are interactive. In other words, if you don't have every single one, you're still doing okay. But I tend to like to do it all the way, so that's what I do. And what I have, I don't have these dried out yet. If you can tell, these are still pretty soft. And the way you dry out things for spells or anything else is you just simply put them all in a paper bag. See, that's all my hydrangeas, and I just stick them in there and I let them dry. That way I don't lose anything, and I just let them dry in a paper bag, because the paper bag has, like, can get air through it so nothing molds up. And yeah, you just don't want to pack it tight, just loosely in a paper bag. All right, so you're going to have your cauldron that you're going to burn later, and your hydrangea, which I need to grind. I need to grind it. Okay, so this is some hydrangea leaves and petals from last year. We're going to put them on, and we're going to grind them up, grind them. And when you have those nice and ground, you are going to, you're going to end up with a nice little pile of leaves, which is not really leaves. They're like petals and leaves. So, and that's going to go into your mortar and pestle. This is a mortar pestle. And you're going to dump it in there. If you don't have a mortar and pestle, there's lots of other ways to crush stuff up. I mean, you can use anything you want. One of the ways I used to use before I had one of these was I would get a regular rolling pin and a baggie and roll that stuff up. We're also going to grind a couple of plain old bay leaves. This is all going to make the powder for our banishing spell. Okay. Oh, there you go. Now I see how to do this. Let's put them in here. We're going to grind up 2 bay leaves. Sounds like we're making something, but I mean, it's flowers. I don't think we can do that. So let's grind up the bay leaves. Also, bay leaves is something I grow in my garden. A lot of this is stuff from my garden. And then a lot of it you get from the grocery store. Some stuff you can't. Like, I don't think you can go buy dried hydrangea flowers, but any flowers that you see along the road, anything, you should dry for spells. If you're trying to get into witchcraft, pretty much all the botanicals you can use for spell work. So, I have right now drying, I have hosta blooms, I have what are they called? The tiger lilies that grow on the side of the road here in Maryland, stuff like that. just always grab them up, throw them in a paper bag. I mean, it's that simple. Just into that. Next, you can either use cayenne pepper or red pepper. Either one will work. So I'm just using red pepper. And then, of course, black pepper. You're going to need black pepper. And I would use a good amount of black pepper. Kosher salt or sea salt, whichever you have, is fine, but not iodized, not regular salt. This is nettles. Now, nettles you can get in tea a lot. So if you can't find nettles like in a grocery store, they always have nettle tea. It's good for your blood circulation and whatnot. So people drink nettle tea a lot. Just dump that in. And then here you have chicory. And I like chicory in coffee because you can use coffee as long as it's not instant. But chicory on its own, I don't really like it separate. And honestly, like when I do voodoo and whatnot, coffee is a huge sacrifice to give to the gods. So I always use coffee with chicory rather than plain chicory. Just dump that in there. And it doesn't matter the amount. And last, you want your base, always your base, which is cornmeal. And that's the base. Girls, what are you doing? You running through the house like crazy girls? Okay, can you go play? Go. Not in here. Go. Sorry about that. Sorry. So the last thing you're going to use is sage. And this is a lovely sage stick that I've used many times. And because it's so big, I mean, I can use it forever. You just simply cut off the bottom of the sage or break off a piece. And that's how I've been using this, as opposed to, I just burn it in a cauldron. I don't burn it I also have a lot of sage incense that was made for me. It's like natural. And I use that too. So I haven't used this much, a couple times now. So you're just going to break off some sage. And as you know, sage banishes like evil or negative spirits. So girls, go on now. Get. Oh, dogs. They're like 2-year-old babies. So this is what you're going to end up with. And now you're just going to grind. You're going to grind it all together. This is your banishing powder. And as you do this, you want to say these words. Healing all, hurting none. I infuse this powder with the power of banishment. Healing all, hurting none. I infuse this powder with the power of banishment. 3 times 3 times 3. Blessed be. And of course, you want to be grateful and thank the gods. And that's what I did this morning. I woke up knowing I was doing this spell for you guys. I woke up and said, okay, I really need to meditate on this and to be grateful. And that's your biggest thing in magic, is to be grateful for everything. And you're going to think I'm crazy when I tell you the next step of this, but your next step, now go bake a pie. You're going to take a handful of this and put it over the charcoal, because you're going to burn it. Just leave a little place for the charcoal to come out. I would not burn this inside because of the pepper. You're going to get a lot of aroma that might hurt your eyes, especially if you're using cayenne pepper. Even the nettles sometimes I find can sting. So there's 2 ways you can use this. Well, there's many ways to use it, but here's one way. Let's say you're dealing with somebody who's like stalking you, or you want them to leave you alone. As long as your intention is positive, in other words, your intention can't be that it's somebody's girlfriend and you want the man and you're going to get rid of her. That usually backfires. Remember, there's always a price to pay. So I would not do that. But if you want to get rid of things like in your home, if you want to get rid of mice, for instance, you take this and you take some red sandalwood oil, right? I'll show you. And you put some down, and you will pour it. You do this over it, right? And infuse it into the oil, and infuse it into the oil, making it like, it'll be like a paste when you're done. Okay, it'll be like a paste. See how it's getting? And you can take this, and you don't need a ton. Remember, you only need a little tiny bit. And you just smear it on, you can just use that little tiny bit, but smear it on the edges of windowsills and anywhere where there's an opening, under your door frames, to get rid of mice. And you can also, you can get rid of anything with this stuff, really. I mean, it'll banish it. It'll get it away. You can get rid of, and that's what you're supposed to do. If you have a person that you want to get rid of in your life, you're supposed to take this stuff as powder. You can put it in his shoes or her shoes if they're that close, and they'll just end up walking away. Just a little bit. You don't need a lot, because remember, there's pepper in there. Like, if you don't have access to somebody's shoes, obviously you can put it on their car, this and that, but it won't get them in an accident or kill them. What it'll do, though, is make them stay a certain amount of like, away from you, a certain amount of distance from you. But remember, there's always a price to pay. Be very careful. Do not use this with evil intent. All of the spells that I do are basically spells that invoke things. I don't cast. I am not black magic. I do not cast anything. I do not cast out to other people. I invoke to myself. So for this, for our purposes today, we're invoking. Now you have this whole thing of banishment powder that you can use throughout the year. You just get little bottles, I don't like the plastic ones, but that's all I have left. I'm out of my glass ones, which are coming. I just ordered them, and they have like a cork top, which I love so much better. And you just put them in your little bottles and store them. That's it. So that's your powder. And it's just ready to burn. It's ready for burning. So let's take it outside. It took me a bit to get this to light. I had to break up another piece of charcoal, but there it is. And it'll go for a while. There's a lot in there, so it'll go all day today. But while it's burning, you want to say these words. Blazing force of cleansing fire, dancing flames of light, hearken for my need is dire, help me in this rite. Pot of flame, O fiery flower, glowing in my sight, cleanse me with your magic power, free me with your might. Blazing force of cleansing fire, dancing flames of light, hearken for my need is dire, help me in this rite. Pot of flame, O fiery flower, glowing in my sight, cleanse me with your magic power, free me with your might. Blazing force of cleansing fire, dancing flames of light, hearken for my need is dire, help me in this rite. Pot of flames, O fiery flower, glowing in my sight, cleanse me with your magic power, free me with your might. Free me with your might. Free me from the past. Blessed be 3 times 3. Now, this is going to burn, like I said, all day. And while it burns, I want you to come out here and say those words now and then. Now, if you don't have this whole setup, like I said, you can use just anything, a barbecue grill, put some wood together and a couple stones around it and burn that. Like, it doesn't matter. I just had a cauldron. It really doesn't matter. It doesn't even matter if you have every single one of the ingredients that's in there. Although each one of those ingredients has a reason why it backs people off or backs things off. And, yeah. So you want to banish the past. You really want to let go of it. The next thing you have to do is bake a pie. Why do I have to bake a pie? Because everybody in every situation is not a victim. So today, go look up the ingredients for a pie. Any pie. Apple, cherry, it doesn't matter. It's not the point. While you bake that pie, ask the spirits to listen and tell your story. It's so important for you to speak your story. I say it all the time. Speak your story. Make your pie as you speak your story. But make sure you put in there what you did that created the negative in your life. When you bake this pie, this is the emphasis on what others did to you. All the things that were hurtful to you and whatnot. And that, we're burning that away today. It's going to be gone by the end of the night, and you're going to be free from it. But everybody takes a measure in their life, and you have to be responsible for your side of it, whether it's that you're hateful or that you got so hurt you shut down. Whatever that is, you've got to own it. And the best way to get rid of it is bake a pie. Once you bake that pie, let it cool. And then I want you to tell that pie while you're baking it, everything you did wrong. You did wrong. Be honest with yourself. And then you cut a piece of that pie out and you sit and eat the whole piece of pie. You're eating your own responsibility. You're owning it. Take the rest of that pie and wrap it up in a piece of cloth, hopefully a natural cloth like cotton. Take it down to any riverbed, any beach, any ocean. Bury a hole right at where the water's edge is and put the pie in there. Never go back to that spot. And you will be released from all of this. Okay, once you banish all this from your life, you're open to live and love. I mean, most people carry such baggage with them, such things that just hurt them so much. And this is a way for you to banish all of that. And it stops them from loving fully and wholly on their next relationship because they got so hurt over the first one. They're so afraid to move, they don't. And this will free you. It's freeing you. This is where you're putting all that. You're just letting it go with the wind. The air is taking it. The fire is burning it. The water will take it away. The earth in the bottom of this cauldron is the sand, and the cornmeal is always the earth. Now it's catching. See it now? All right, guys. This is how you do it. This is how you banish your past. Make sure you mean it, because you're the biggest one that has to mean it. Bake that pie. Eat your piece of pie. Take your responsibility, and let go of the rest. All right. I love you guys. If you'd like to follow me down the rabbit hole that is my life, hit the button down below and subscribe. Give it a thumbs up if you like these kind of videos. If not, give it a thumbs down. Manifest something great in your life. Today's the day. Banish the past. Eat your piece of pie. Eat your responsibility, what you did, so you don't repeat it. Say it all out loud. Let the gods hear you loud. Let them hear how you fucked up. Let them hear how sorry you are, how grateful you are. And have a blessed day.